So what happens if you didn't get into year 9 selective entry? Well, obviously, don't panic. It's not the end of the road. In fact, many students who miss out on year 9 entry actually succeed in year 10 because, you've had an extra year to grow. You have a bunch of extracurriculars that can help you as well. And finally, for a lot of schools, there's also that interview aspect, which can also be a point of difference for you. Obviously, year 10 entry looks still at the test, and you still need to make sure you're at the expectations for, the different areas of maths, reading comprehension, writing, etc. It is now a different test provider, so it will be EduTest, which means the overall structure is going to change a little bit. There's going to be more questions and less time for you to answer these. And so obviously you will have to study a little bit differently than if you studied for the year 9 entry. But aside from this, it's also very important, starting from year 9, to build a very strong extracurricular base. Obviously, as early as possible will help you, but since the year 10 entry puts a lot of weight on your profile, you need to make sure that you have a variety of different activities, both in school and out of school, leadership positions potentially, and different projects that you have going for you. Because remember, they're looking for the entire student this time, not necessarily just your grades. And so because they're putting weight on that aspect, it's very, very important to start as early as possible into things like volunteering, looking for leadership positions, and starting at different sports, playing as high of a level as possible, because schools will be looking at you to bolster and expand their extracurricular programs and those different areas of extra school activities. Now, aside from your extracurriculars, you also need to think about your personal statement. Now, that's going to vary a lot from school to school, but your personal statement is your only chance besides the interview for the school to know who you are as a person. All right, so in the word limit they describe to you, and with the question they want you to answer, you need to paint yourself as obviously somebody who's very capable of doing the things that you are currently doing with your extracurriculars, someone who's very passionate, and someone who's seeking to change something about the school. And you also want to demonstrate that you want to go for that school specifically, why you think that school is the right fit for you and not any other of the selective schools. So there's quite a couple of things that you need to incorporate in your personal response. Obviously, we'll go through them through our class as well. Most importantly, it's about using your words very carefully in painting and furthering this profile that you're kind of displaying to, the admissions officers at the selective schools. Finally, for year 10, you have to make sure you document everything. So if you haven't started already, make sure you collect certificates, collect photos, and all the different areas, all the different proofs that you'll need to justify the different extracurriculars that you do. Letters of recommendation are also a good idea, whether it be from somebody who runs your club or someone who, or maybe your coach at your local sporting club. These are all good possible ideas for you to document on your application so that, again, you build towards this holistic, well-rounded profile. Now, finally, depending on the school, as I said before, there is an interview process. Now, each school has, various different things that will get you to do in the interview. Some of them will offer group interviews, and some of them will be more one-to-one. We'll go through, the entire structure together, but the overall principles that you should be thinking about is, your ability to present yourself, how neatly you're dressed and how organized you are, but also your ability to carry a conversation, be friendly. Obviously, if you don't make it into year 9, don't give up. Year 10 entry is not only your second chance, but it actually might be better grafted for you as a person. So if you feel like you don't have as much of an academic strength as maybe in the year 9 entry that you could have proven, or you feel like you have a lot of extracurriculars, or you're great at speaking, or you have a lot of leadership, then in fact, the year 10 entry program might actually be perfect for you.